Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego for a surprise live stream. It's Sunday, August 18th, 2024. August is flying by. And remember, August is a very slow month for K1 visas, or mainly for green card processing. And some embassies are slow in the summer months because the embassy staff want to take their vacation in August, especially in countries like Europe and South America. This is Diego with the beautiful Karina, my wife, beautiful wife from Venezuela. And a salute to our patriots in Venezuela who are fighting for their very freedoms as this video is going live. I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you any legal advice. I don't work for USCIS. I don't work for those companies that charge you an arm and a kidney to process a simple green card application or K1 visa. The paperwork is easy. You just got to take your time when you process it. Just take your time. Don't be in a big rush. Don't be in a hurry. The I-129F application for a K1 visa is not difficult to fill out. The paperwork for a green card is not difficult to fill out. Just remember that you cannot make any mistakes. Typo errors, typographic errors. You don't want to make any typographic errors. You know, like transposing a passport number. Misspelling somebody's name, transposing the date of birth, things like that. You can't do that. But otherwise, the paperwork's pretty easy. You just got to take your time. When you fill out your K1 visa application, the secret to success is make sure you got enough, income to qualify. Uno Mikey, straight off the bat. Uno Mikey, look at that, super chat. Thank you, Uno Mikey. That's a Mountain Dew salute. Thank you. And it's hot here in Florida. It's like 93 freaking degrees. But that's okay. Karina said it was hotter in June. She thought Junio was very hot, muy calor. But I think August is the hottest month here. But that's okay. Karina survived her first summer in Florida. Bless her heart. It's difficult being from the mountains of Colombia for 6 years. Because Karina is originally from Caracas, Venezuela, okay? But she lived in Bogota, Colombia for 6 years, 2.5 years with me. And then she's in Florida. And it's like 90 freaking plus degrees here. It's too hot to go to the beach. Go to the beach, you sit down, the sand's too hot, you can't walk on the sand, it's too hot. So we'll go to the beach in September. Next month, we'll go head down there and check out the beach. And Karina wants to travel around and visit different places, okay? Well, that's all. We're going to do that. Everything is good. Now, remember, you can travel within the United States on your green card. If you want to fly from your home in Florida or your home in Texas, wherever you live, Miss Beneficiary, Mr. Beneficiary, you can fly to, let's say, Hawaii or another state on vacation with your green card, okay? You can travel outside the United States with your green card, but I don't recommend you do that until you get your 10-year green card. Your 2-year green card is probationary. It means you are here on probation. You got an ankle bracelet around your ankle, and the government's watching you for 24 months. Okay? That's what a probationary 2-year green card is. You don't renew a 2-year green card. It goes away. You apply to lift the conditions off of it, and then you get your 10-year green card. You can't then, after 10 years, you can renew your 10-year green card. But you cannot renew a 2-year green card. You have to lift the conditions off of it. Very important that you understand that. Binay Mohammed, what's going on, Binay? Hello, Diego and Karina. Wishing you the best after the 221G when they ask for your passport and they refuse change to approve. Is it a good sign? Yes. When will they issue the visa and when will the passport be ready? I submitted my passport August 7th, no answer. Well, remind me again what embassy we're talking about here, Binay Mohammed. What embassy? What country are we talking about? Because normally, like in Bogota, Colombia, it only takes a couple of days to get your K1 visa in your passport and then sent to the CAC, the pickup center. You're from Iraq, right? You're from beautiful Iraq. We love our friends in Iraq. You're from Iraq, but what country did you process your K1 visa in? It wasn't in Baghdad, let me promise you. The U.S. Embassy is not open in Baghdad, Iraq. It's not doing any visa processing. Okay, it's not doing any consular processing in okay, you said you had your interview in Doha, Qatar in March. Okay, so then you went into a 221G, right? Investigation because you're from Iraq. They want to check you out a little bit more. Not, it's nothing personal against people from Iraq. Okay, nothing personal. But the country is politically unstable in some parts, sometimes, not all the time. So they did an extra check. Now you're good. So you should get it within 2 weeks. You successfully made it through. Very good. And now you're going to come to America as an Iraqi, and you are welcome here as an Iraqi, and we're glad you're going to be here. Okay? Let me see. Hermelia Fetsum. Hey, Diego, I can make motion to appeal if I get refused K1 visa during the interview in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia embassy. You can appeal, but it will have to be done via the USCIS at the service center where it started. You cannot appeal at the embassy. If the immigration officer says your K1 visa is whatever, okay, you can't appeal it at the embassy. You have to appeal it with USCIS back in the United States. You can do that, okay, but it costs money to file an appeal. I can't remember how much it is, but it costs money to do that. It's better just to get married and file a spousal visa if you get a K1 visa denied at the embassy level, unless it's for something stupid, like you need to translate a birth certificate and they put you on hold. If it's something very minor, you can fix it. If they just blatantly, downright just block it, okay, then you're going to just probably be easier for you just to get married and apply for the spousal visa. Okay? So you can appeal it, but the chances of getting fixed is slim to none. April Flower. Hi, Banin. How long did it take after 221G to get approved from Iraq? Right. April Flower's beneficiaries from Iraq also. And Benay Mohammed said it took nearly 6 months. And which is what I've been telling April Flower. It's going to take at least 5 or 6 months to get through that process of the investigation. Okay? Let me see. Linda Gibbs. Hi, Diego and Karina. What's going on, Linda? My fiance interview is this Thursday, the 22nd. Praying that we get approved. You're good. I know it's going to happen because I learned from the best. There you go. That's you and Karina. Well, we thank you also for watching the channel. Because if I was able to save you $4,000 or $5,000 from paying an immigration attorney to do this process, then I feel that, and plus you got an approval very soon. Linda, it's all going to be good. Mountain Dew salute. You're going to get everything wrapped up here. Okay, Linda, not much longer. Very short time. Benay, how long does it take to issue the visa? Probably about 2 weeks. Cecile E. Hammer. Hi, Diego. Please, just want to ask, do you have an idea on what's the processing time from the USCIS for the adjustment of status? It's 4 to 6 months in the summer. And it also depends on what immigration processing center you mailed your green card application to. There's only 4. Okay? There's Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, Chicago. It's 4 to 6 months in the summertime, 3 to 5 months in the wintertime. But it all depends on how well you put your green card package together too. So April Flower, hang in there, okay? Nick, let me see. April Flower. Hey, Diego and Karina, it's been a week since the status says application received. Even though my fiance had an interview, they requested his passport. All you're doing now is waiting for them to put the K1 visa in his passport. It's not a quick process. It's a technical process. It's not a stamp on a piece of ink. It's electronic, okay? Nick Alejandro. How much later do I have to wait for K1 visa interview? I paid the money at the local bank in Dakar, Senegal. Did you get the MOV receipt? When you paid for the K1 visa, did you get the MOV receipt? You need the MOV receipt to bring to the embassy to show you paid, to show the proof that you paid for the visa. The question is, how much later do I have to wait? It all depends on how busy the embassy is in Dakar, Senegal. Let me see. When did you pay? How long has it been since you paid for your K1 visa interview? Remind me. Mr. Nahas, our friend from Iraq. Mr. Nahas, living in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Hi, Diego and Karina. Mr. Nahas, how are you doing? Glad to see you. And April Flower says, thank you to Benay Mohammed. Hermela Fetsum, do you think large age gap matters for K1 visa? We have been together for 4 years. No, age gap's irrelevant. Immigration want to see that you are in a real relationship. They don't care how old you are. They care that you guys are in a real relationship and you've been together quite a while and you got a lot of evidence of your relationship. If you've been together 4 years and you got 4 years worth of evidence of you being together and the relationship is totally real, you're good. You're good to go. James Van Skoda, I'm having trouble getting an I-94 for my stepdaughter because she came in as a K2. No, it's no different. It's just the same process to get an I-94 for a K2 applicant as it is for a K1. You go to the I-94, go to the Border Patrol website. Okay, you go to the Border Patrol website. Your stepdaughter has an I-94. Every foreign national that enters the United States of America gets issued an I-94 when they enter and when they leave. Well, they're not going to be leaving anytime soon. So your K2 has an I-94. Okay, go into the Border Patrol website, click on I-94, put in your stepdaughter's name, country of residence, passport number, etc. Okay, do all that. And you'll kick out the I-94. Then you're going to print like 5 copies of it. I mean, I don't see why you're having trouble getting the I-94. K1, K2, tourist visa, student visa, spousal visa, okay? Asylum seekers, they all get I-94s, everybody. Alex Digitalis, hi Diego and Karina, for adjusting the status. Is it original birth certificate or photocopy? A photocopy of the birth certificate, not the original. Thank you very much. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Never send original documents in a K1 visa application, okay? Or a green card application. You send a certified copy. Never send original documents. You may not get them back. They may end up in the shredder. When you submit your green card application, you submit certified original copies, okay? Benay Mohammed to April Flower. After my interview, they refused me. It took 6 months. Oh my gosh. In administrative processing, but it's been 2 years since we applied. Wishing you good luck. So Benay Mohammed is closing in on 3 years going through this nightmare of a visa. Mount Dew salute. But you made it. You're there. Patience is the key, right? You got to be patient. You can't be in a hurry. James Van Skoda, can I put my wife's I-94 and copy of the visa with the stamp that they both came in on the same day? You have to get a I-94 for your wife, okay? And you have to get an I-94 for your stepdaughter, and you have to apply for 2 separate green cards. This isn't your wife and your stepdaughter in one package, in one paperwork shuffle. It's your wife, you're going to fill out a green card application. If you want to help her with it, it's an 86. You're going to fill out all this paperwork, the 485, the 864, and the 693. You're going to do the same thing for your stepdaughter. She's going to fill out a form I-485. You're going to fill out the 864, and she's going to repeat her medical exam. Okay? You said you've tried every way that they told me to find it, and it says no record found under her name and passport. She has a record. Okay? Call the Border Patrol and tell them to freaking email you her I-94. Call the Border Patrol and tell them you can't find her I-94. It's required for her green card. It's a mandatory form for her green card. Please, can you email me her I-94? If there's a charge, just pay it. It may be, I don't know, $5. But you got to have it. You must have the I-94 for your stepdaughter for the green card in a separate application. Okay? You're going to file a green card application for your wife and a green card application for your daughter. You're going to put both of them together and send it off by FedEx or UPS or DHL. But you got to have the I-94 for your stepdaughter. There's no way around it. You need to call the Border Patrol and ask them nicely, please email me my stepdaughter's I-94. Ask him to do it for you. You cannot, James, you cannot put your wife's I-94 and visa copy with your stepdaughter. They're two separate people filing for two separate green cards, okay? Adriana Sarango Nunez, hi Diego and Karina, finally got my appointment for the embassy here in Lima, Peru. I said you would, Adriana. Karina said you would. We put all this pixie dust on your app on your interview, right? Remember we put all this pixie dust on you? Now you got the interview in Peru, right? In Lima, Peru. So congratulations. Any advice on common things people tend to miss? Well, I don't think people miss anything at the K-1 visa interview. If you don't know the answer to something, just say, I don't know. If they ask you a question and you don't know the answer to, say, I don't know. And then wait for the next question. Don't make up something. If they ask you a question and you don't know the answer to it, don't make up a story just to fill in a hole. You say, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know. But the questions that they're going to ask you are not going to be questions to trick you. They're not trying to trick you. They're just trying to find out if you know about your sponsor. Do you know where you're going to live in the United States? Do you know your address? What's your address where you're going to live in America? You got to know that. They may ask you that. You got to know if your sponsor has any brothers or sisters. You got to know, has your sponsor been married before in the past? You got to know how much money does your sponsor make? What job does he have? Where does he work? What kind of car does he have? Questions like that, okay? Adriana, you've got this, all right? Lima, Peru, October 7th. It's going to be here quick. Any advice on common things people tend to miss? People don't miss anything. They either know the answer or they don't. And if you don't know the answer to a question, say, I don't know. And then wait for the next question. You're good. They're not going to penalize you if you don't know the answer to a question, unless you totally don't know anything. What's your sponsor's name? Oh, I don't know. Where does your sponsor live in America? I don't know. Does your sponsor have a job? I don't know. If you go like that, you ain't going to get your visa, right? But you're going to know the answers to those questions because you know what? You know everything about your sponsor, right? And he knows everything about you, right? Jenny Ella James, hi Diego. Hope all is well with you and Karina. We are right here in Florida, in the Panhandle, waiting for the weather to get a little cooler. It's hot. Jeff Mantalk, Diego, how long after Karina had her biometrics did she get her green card? She had her biometrics in January, March. She had her biometrics on March 22nd of 2024 in New Orleans. And she got her green card on June 25th, March, April. So 3 months. So 3 months after her biometrics, she had her green card in her hand. Nick Alejandro, we paid the bank for the interview on August 5th, and we have the receipt, okay, for Senegal. Keep that Merv receipt, because you're going to need to show it at the embassy. What you need to do now, Nick, is keep looking for an open slot to get in there and schedule the interview. They took your money, right? So now you got to look for an open slot. Hermela Fetsum. Thank you, Diego and Karina. Much love, Hermela. Okay, Hermela. We're here for you. We're here for everybody. James Van Scoda. I tried every way that they told me to find the I-94. It says no record found under her name and passport. Keep trying, James. They said it is USCIS problem. No, it's not a USCIS problem. It's a Border Patrol has to issue you an I-94. USCIS doesn't issue I-94s. The Border Patrol does. You sent a 102 to Phoenix and they did not tell me that they got it. What is a, so that's the form of requesting for a I-94, right? If the Border Patrol is telling you it is a USCIS problem that they can't issue you a 994, that Border Patrol officer needs to go get a job at frickin' McDonald's, maybe Wendy's, maybe even what? Let's say In-N-Out Burger or Hardee's or maybe even Carl Jr. The Border Patrol issues I-94s. If you can't get it off the website, you call them and ask them to email it to you. You got me? They have to send it to you. And Adriana Sorango Nunez, much love, Diego and Karina from Peru. Peru's where Paddington Bear came from, Peru, right? And Nick Alejandro, thanks, much love. Nick, hang in there, Nick. James, get on the phone to the Border Patrol and ask them to email you your stepdaughter's I-94. Okay? I'm serious. USCIS has got nothing to do with the Border Patrol and I-94s. Valiant Thor, remember, surround yourself with people who will push you to the best version of yourself. Have a blessed and productive day. That's right. Whoever you hang out with, who you hang out with is a reflection on who you are, right? James Van Skoda, that is what the Border Patrol due to immigration green card after entry. That is what the Border Patrol due to immigration green card after entry. Okay. But the I-94 is issued by the Border Patrol for everybody. Mountain Dew salute to everybody, by the way. Everybody gets an I-94. K1s, even when you leave the country on a green card and come back in, you get an I-94. If you go on vacation, you're on a 10-year green card holder. You go on vacation. You go see grandma in the Philippines. You get issued an I-94. You may not need it at that time, but you get one every single time. A new number. It's an entry and departure number. When you left America, when you entered America. Okay? James, that is what they told me. Sorry. No, James. The Border Patrol officer that told you that needs to go get a job. Okay? Sweeping the interstate at 3 o'clock in the morning. Because the Border Patrol officer is totally incorrect. The Border Patrol issues the I-94, not USCIS. Border Patrol is Homeland Security, although technically so is USCIS, but it's not an immigration USCIS function. It's the Border Patrol function. Okay? I could get the phone number for the Border Patrol for you if you want, but you got to call them and ask them for the freaking I-94. Say you can't get it on their website. Yeah, you guess right, no problem. But I would keep trying a few more times, James. Go onto their website and see if you can try one more time or two more times. Make sure you're typing in the name, the first name and the last name, or the last name and the first name. Try it that way. Sometimes the Border Patrol may put the name in backwards. Put the last name first instead of the first name. Try that. And then the country also. You got to put in the passport number, I believe, is also. But you can do it. You're going to get it. Yeah, go into the I-94 website. Put the last name and the first name. And then try the first name and the last name. Maybe the Border Patrol put it in backwards. But there is an I-94 in the system for your stepdaughter. I promise you. I guarantee it, 100%. You just got to find it. If you can't find it, you got to call the Border Patrol and ask them to email it to you. Okay? Or you could go to it. I don't know if you live near a port of entry. I don't know where you live. But if I live here where I could probably go to a port of entry and say, hey, like Mobile, Alabama is a port of entry. There's a Border Patrol office there. I would go in there and say, hey, can you give me a printout of my stepdaughter's I-94? I can't find it. Go to a port of entry and go in and ask for help. But you got to have it for the green card. When you apply for your stepdaughter's green card, you got to have it an I-94 in her name. Her name's on it. Okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to put all this pixie dust all over you today. And tomorrow you're going to have your I-94. Right? What's today? Today's Sunday, right? Today's Domingo. Hoy es Domingo. A day of rest. And here we are doing a live stream. For you guys. Because it's important. We're trying to help you. We understand on the weekend you may have more free time to hang out with us. during the week. Maybe you're working, you're too busy, whatever. It's no problem. But the live stream I do is now is going to be Wednesdays and Saturdays. And then sometimes I'll just jump on here and help you guys out. I know you've got lots of questions. But we got a lot of success stories today. And the success is going to be for James Van Skoda to get his stepdaughter's I-94 because it's in the computer with the Border Patrol. If the Border Patrol will help you. Go to a port of entry. If you live near a port of entry. I could go to Mobile, Alabama. That's a port of entry. They have cruise ships out of there all the time. I say, hey guys, here's my stepdaughter's passport. Can you call up her I-94 and print it for me, please? Because I can't get it. They'll print it. Okay? It's a requirement for the green card. Okay, come on, guys. Throw bunches of questions at me. I'm here to answer your questions. How much does an immigration attorney cost these days? What, $4,000, $5,000? I don't know. I mean, they make good money, and I'm not knocking them. I want people to make as much money as they possibly can. We're in a capitalist country. So if you can make a lot of money, make a lot of money. But be sensible with how you spend your money too. Okay? Immigration attorneys go through a lot of college. They go through a lot of schooling. They got to take a bar exam to pass it, to become an attorney, to qualify to be an immigration attorney. It's a lot of schooling involved. But they charge a lot of money to fill out freaking simple paperwork. The only time you need an immigration attorney, really, if you're in a visa process, is if you have a criminal record. Like if if you got a felony and you're not quite sure if you qualify for the K-1 visa, go to an immigration attorney, sit down for a consultation, bring your criminal record with you, give it to the immigration attorney, and have them look at it and see if you qualify for the visa for your beneficiary. Okay? That's when you pay an immigration attorney, not to fill out freaking paperwork. The paperwork's easy. Norman Williams, do you have to have the affidavit of support filled out before or after you arrive to the United States for the K-1? Okay, there's two forms you got to fill out. You fill out the I-134. Norman, listen to me. You fill out the I-134 Declaration of Financial Support for the visa interview at the embassy. You sign it in black ink. The sponsor fills it out and signs it. When you get to America, Norman, listen, when you arrive in America, okay, you get married. That's when you fill out, after you get married, then you fill out the affidavit of support, which is the form 864. Okay, you got it? Your question is, do you have to have the affidavit of support filled out before or after you arrive in America? You fill out the affidavit of support form I-864 after you arrive in America and after you get married and when you apply for the green card. That's when you fill out the form. You got it? Janiella James, I'm glad I passed that. Now we got to worry about nothing. No, no. There's nothing to worry about, Janiella. I'm giving you a Mountain Dew salute to help calm your anxiety. Calm your anxiety, okay? It's all easy. You can do it. You just got to be patient and you got to believe that you got to believe in yourself that you can do this. And you can. And if you get a little scared, I'm going to help you through it. You got to worry about the I-751. What is an I-751? What is that? There's the 485. For the green card, you got the 485, the 864, the 693. You must repeat your medical exam. When you get to America, repeat your medical exam with a civil surgeon authorized by the State Department to give medical exams for green cards. And recertify your vaccination documents, okay? The removal of conditions form. That's not for 2 years. That's correct. Now we got to worry about the I-751. So it's I-751, not 1751. That's correct. You lift the conditions off of your 2-year green card 3 months, 90 days before it expires. So Karina's K1, Karina's green card has an issue date of what, June, Julio? June 25th, I think. So Karina's issue date is March or June? March. Right. So Karina's green card has an issue date of March over June 25th, 2024. In March of 2026, she's going to lift the conditions off of her 2-year green card for her 10-year green card, 90 days before her 2-year green card expires. If you do not lift the conditions with Form I-751, you will get a letter of deportation. If you do not submit paperwork to immigration, and I think right now it's $760 as of August of 2024, it's going to be $760 to lift the conditions off of your 2-year green card, and you apply for your 10-year green card. Okay, what paperwork do you have to include when you apply for your 10-year green card? Well, you're going to make you're going to get a photocopy of your 2-year green card. That's got to be within 90 days. 90 days before it expires, you're going to lift the conditions. Karina's will apply for her 10-year green card March 26, something like that, of 2026. 90 days. Within those 90 days. If you apply before the 90-day period, your green card, your 10-year green card will be denied. If you apply after 90 days, your 10-year green card will be denied, and you'll receive deportation paperwork. You're going to be asked to go in front of an immigration judge. Okay? So when your 2-year green card expires, 90 days before it expires, within those 90 days, you got to apply for the 10-year green card. If you don't, you're going to have a big problem. So what do you do right now? You got your 2-year green card. What do you do right now? You're going to start collecting evidence for your 10-year green card. Go to Office Depot, go buy a binder, buy some document protectors, and start collecting the evidence. Pictures together, photos with friends and family. Put your wife or husband on the water bill, electric bill, trash bill, phone bill, whatever, all the bills, the services, and start collecting the bills with his or her name on it. Okay, get joint bank accounts. Keep collecting the bank account statements as they come in. Immigration are going to want to see a bank account statement with your joint ownership within a couple of months of when you got married. They're going to look at the date on the bank statement. Here's a bank statement. Okay, so we got married in January of 2024. The first bank statement came in with Karina's name on it in February 2024. That's going to go in her 10-year green card application. You can white out the account numbers. I don't care about the account numbers. Okay. Yeah, the removal of conditions form, Janiela, exactly right, to get the 10-year green card. And you say too much process. They should just be giving us the 10 years so we can go to the citizenship. If you apply for a spousal visa, let's supposing you married somebody from Peru, American citizen, Mr. American citizen. You go to Peru, you get married to a lady in Peru or a gentleman, and then you have a long distance relationship for 2 or 3 years, and you're flying back and forth from Peru to the United States, and you've been married longer than 2 years. When you apply for the green card, okay, with a spousal visa, you're going to get an automatic 10-year green card, so long as you've been married longer than 2 years. Okay, so if you married to somebody from Peru longer than 2 years, when you apply for the green card, you adjust the status for a spousal visa. It's an automatic 10-year green card. If you've been married less than 2 years, okay, let's suppose you marry somebody from Brazil, and you've been married for a year, and you apply for a green card with a spousal visa, you're going to get a 2-year green card because you've been married less than 2 years. You guys understand what I'm saying, right? You got it? When you apply for a K-1 visa, it's an automatic 2-year green card because you are dating in a fiance relationship. So you come to America, you get married, you obviously been married less than 2 years, so you get a 2-year green card. 90 days, within the 90 days before it expires, you got to lift the conditions and apply for the 10-year. And it's a lot of work, Janiela. It's a lot of work. They should just give us a 10-year so we can go for citizenship. You can apply for U.S. citizenship after 3 years of being married to a U.S. citizen. So we're going to put pixie dust on everybody, okay? Once you've been married to a U.S. citizen for 3 years, you can apply for U.S. citizenship. But you ask, well, I got my 2-year green card, then I got to apply for my 10-year green card. I just got my 10-year green card. I've had it. It took me 6 months to get that. Now I've been in America for 3 years. I've been married to a U.S. citizen for 3 years. Can I apply for citizenship? Yes. You can apply for U.S. citizenship after 36 months of living in the United States. And you can apply 3 months early. So after you've been living in the United States for 33 months, you can apply for U.S. citizenship. But by then, you're going to have a 10-year green card. Okay? And you're going to submit Form N-400. If you come to the United States and join the military, let's suppose you come and join the military, you join the Navy or the Army or the Air Force or the Marines. You cannot join Space Force because you got to be a U.S. citizen to join Space Force. But you could join the Navy, the Army, the Marines, okay, the Coast Guard. You can get U.S. citizenship much quicker, and it will be a free process. There's no cost. The U.S. government will process your U.S. citizenship for free, okay? But if you come to America, get married, and then you got to wait 3 years, okay, if you're married to a U.S. citizen. So there's different things, different routes you can take. There's no reason why you can't join the military, but you just will not get access to classified information. You're going to be put in a job that doesn't require you to have access to classified information, which means you cannot join Space Force because you got to have your citizenship to be a member of Space Force. Okay, guys, I've been talking for almost 40 minutes. Do I have any more questions? Come on, throw some questions at me. Mountain Dew salute to everybody, and thank you for that super chat. We want to see everybody get your K1 visas. We want to see everybody get the green cards. Ray Ramirez. Hello, Diego and Karina. We got the I-797C. You got your notice of action letter. That is a Mountain Dew salute. That's good news. Ray Ramirez, you're on a roll. That's great. So apparently this pixie dust is working pretty good, right? Maybe I should take the lid off. No, it really is pixie dust. Look at that. Maybe I'll throw it. No, I won't do that. So congratulations, Ray Ramirez, on getting your 797C. Now you're making progress. You're making progress. You're making progress. You're getting forward in this long, time-consuming process. And like I said, if you're from Iraq or Syria or Pakistan, if you're from those kind of countries, which the U.S. government doesn't have a strong relationship with, okay, there's a good possibility you'll get a 221G for further investigation once you've completed your K1 visa interview at the embassy, okay? It just happens it could take 6 months, but the U.S. government's going to check you out, okay? Once they've done their investigation, they will go ahead and issue you your K1 visa. Once they take your passport, it could take a week to 2 weeks before it gets issued into your passport, okay? When you get to the United States of America, then you got to wait for your green card or your work permit. But I don't recommend applying for the work permit. It's a waste of time. Just apply for the green card and do your biometrics. Don't waste your money on the work permit. Don't waste your money on the advanced parole. Because when you get the green card, you can travel with the green card. So you're spending $630 on an advanced parole document, and then 3 months later, you get your freaking green card. So you wasted all that money on the advanced parole and the work permit. But, it's just my opinion, okay? Ray Ramirez, is it true that K1 visas are speeding up? The process is very quick. From NOA1 to NOA2 letter, it's between 6 to 9 months, okay? It's a quick turnaround from NOA1, which is Notice of Action 1, to Notice of Action 2. And then going from NOA2 to the National Visa Center is, maybe 6 weeks, 8 weeks. And then the National Visa Center, when they get it, they check it to make sure there's no errors. But you got to remember, the National Visa Center do not approve or disapprove K1 visas. If the National Visa Center find a problem with your approved K1 visa package, they send it back to USCIS with a letter and asking USCIS to review it again, okay? So you cannot get disapproved at the National Visa Center. But once your K1 visa that's approved gets to the National Visa Center, then it's going to be mailed off to the embassy in the country, whatever country that might be. That's where things slow up a little bit, especially in the summertime, especially in European countries like Paris, France. Everybody in Europe seems to take their vacation in August. Lots of Europeans work for the U.S. Embassy in countries in Europe: France, Germany, England, Holland, Belgium, Monrovia, and they all take their 30 days vacation in August, pretty much, in Italy especially. When that happens, visa processing slows down because everybody's not at work. And remember, the foreign nationals that work for the U.S. Embassy in Europe and South America, okay, they get their holidays for their country, and they get the United States holidays too. So in Colombia is probably the second most, the nation that's got the second most number of vacation days in the whole world. Every other week they're on freaking vacation for something. It's Maria Day, or it's Joseph's Day, or it's so-and-so's day. Plus they celebrate American holidays. So if you're in Colombia, okay, don't be surprised if the embassy is closed because of Colombian holidays and because of American holidays. So when it comes to December, Christmas Day is a holiday in the United States, New Year's Day, okay? But Colombians, they celebrate other days off in December also. So the embassy is going to be closed for those days, okay? We were in Colombia, and Karina got her K1 visa approved in Bogota, Colombia, November 16th, 2023. Then we got a 221G for Interpol police certificate. That took 4 weeks. So we got that, okay, by the end of, by when was that? Middle of December. But we weren't worried about it. We said, okay, well, we get to spend December in Colombia. The embassy's pretty much locked down, closed because it's Christmas week. So we just hung out in Colombia for another month and then flew to Florida on January 3rd of 2024, which kind of made it, kind of screwed up all of our taxes, because I wanted to get to the United States by December at the latest so I could include Karina on my tax return. But I couldn't. So I couldn't do it. That's okay. Yeah, it's so true, right? K1 visa processing is speeding up, most definitely, okay? But remember, it all depends on the embassy too, okay? It all depends on the embassy too. How busy is the embassy? Okay, guys, I've been talking 45 minutes almost. We're going to log off, and we'll be back. What day are we back? Today's Sunday, so Wednesday. We'll be back on Wednesday. If you got any questions right now, I'll wait a second. If you don't have any more questions, we're out of here, and we'll be back.